So we are live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So let's see. Fantastic, fantabulous. Okay, cool. So we are going to answer your immigration questions today, and I'm hoping I don't have to go too long into the visa bulletin or the processing times. But if we do, we do. So let's just go ahead and put all your questions in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to address them as we go along, depending on how much time we have today. So the sooner you put your question in, the sooner I get to it. So let's start with that. And yes, so we are going to first talk about this misconception about previous parole program, the new parole program for people from certain countries. I'm not going to address country specific because that is too specific and our audience is from everywhere, okay? But a couple of things that come to mind for those who have been pending for a very long time with a petition for alien relative. Basically, you had a sponsor who petitioned you, could be a family member, and they petitioned for you a long time ago, and nothing's been moving for a few years. National Visa Center might at random be sending you a letter saying you are now eligible to file for parole to come to the United States sooner and just wait here while the rest of the process takes place there, which is also good because once you are in the United States with parole, you can apply because you're entered and inspected, admitted and inspected in the United States. So that makes you eligible to apply for a green card directly from within the United States. So obviously that is only available to those individuals who have received that invitation letter directly from NVC, okay? So no, you cannot apply for it on your own. No, you cannot do it on your own. This is something where you need to wait for the invitation from NVC. So people are asking, generally speaking, it's Cuba, let's say Haiti, a couple of other countries, okay? But let's say they had the previous parole, the Biden parole pending, and now they have the family reunification parole that they got the letter from NVC. And how are they different? Well, they both, generally speaking, end up in the same bucket with Customs and Border Protection, CBP, who eventually decides to give you the travel document. And they also go and take a very long time. So, however, with the letter from NVC, the processing could be different. It could be faster. So you really don't know. NVC is National Visa Center. So if you don't know what NVC is, your process is probably not going through there, okay? So let's go address some of those questions and let's see what questions you have here in chat. I'll address some of those. And I only wanted to address those parole things because we just got one of those invitations today for one of our clients. And I wanted to look at the differences between this new parole, the previous parole. And this client happened to have that previous parole already filed. They also have been waiting and ready, approved, everything, just waiting for the consulate to schedule them for an interview to come here with their entire family. And it's just not moving and not moving and not moving. And now we got this additional invitation and the decision is, do we apply or do we not apply? And the thing is, it really depends. It's on a case-by-case basis. And with this particular client, we might actually tell them, you should apply, but it's a very large family. Cost is an issue. So it's only so many applications they can really make, okay? So Gia, I got an RFE for my 485, but I still haven't received my 765. Do you think the RFE is interfering with my EAD? It could be, but not necessarily. It depends, Gia. An RFE, for those of you who don't know, is request for evidence, and the request for evidence is issued on pending applications where the government is not satisfied with what they received or they want additional information, okay? So Gia, it really depends on what the RFE is asking for. Generally speaking, if the RFE is only for the 485, and let's say is asking for financials, taxes, or maybe just the medical, or maybe some documents are not matching, as long as the identification documents are good and you're past the background check after you did the fingerprints, it should not be interfering with your EAD. However, if you are sitting on that RFE, okay, and you are not responding for whatever reason, that could delay both. Let me tell you why. In some cases, they are issuing the green cards without actually issuing a work permit. You might actually be able to to get your green card if you respond to that RFE without an interview. So I think sitting on that, it's not good. So you want to respond as soon as you can. Kamia, what do you want to know about the F4 category? It also would be useful to know, particularly what country you are from, because otherwise it's a lot to talk about the F4 category. I have an asylum pending for 10 months. You got years to wait. Elad, my fiance K1 documents was sent to Dubai. Can I transfer it to my home country? I would need to know more about the information on your K1. When you say your my fiance's K1 documents were sent to Dubai, what do you mean by that? I would need to know more about the information. So your I-129F was approved, I'm assuming, and then it was sent to National Visa Center. And then what happened? You need to tell me more. What is your home country, and also why was it sent to Dubai? Give me more information so I can give you more. Okay. Hayat, decision is pending. Good. When did you already have your asylum interview, or you didn't have your asylum interview? B160 visa appointment delay. I don't know what B160 is. I'm assuming you mean DS160 visa appointment delay, or a B1 visa. I don't know what that means. You need to be a little more specific. How many months asylum decision pending will take? It depends. When was your asylum interview? Did you already have your interview? If you didn't have an interview, you need to have that first. What's the fee for a citizen nowadays? To apply for citizenship, the filing fee going directly to the office is $725. With Heart Office, will it speed up the 601A? Oh God, Camilla, I hope so. I don't think so. They say they will, but they always say that and it doesn't. Look, they also just started for us attorneys, for example, a portal where we can schedule certain things, and it's not going to make a difference because it's really only avoiding us giving them a call, and we just have to go through a portal so they can call us back, which is exactly what we were complaining about the first time. So will the Heart Office fix anything? Probably not. We're hoping, but we don't think so. Someone fired me because I didn't have my work permit, which was coming in 2 weeks. They can absolutely do that. Now that you did have a work permit, you can, I showed them the USCIS letter and they didn't care. Cindy, sometimes, unfortunately, the employer is between the rock and the hard place on that, because just the letter itself doesn't mean anything, and it does not make you eligible to work. Until you actually can produce the work permit, they don't care. Now, if you already had a work permit, for example, on TPS or DACA, and your renewal is waiting, and you are with that particular employer, okay, not applying for a brand new job, they cannot let you go. But if you're applying for a brand new job, no, they don't have to. Now, if they fired you, okay, I'm assuming you were already working there, okay. Did you already have a work permit at the time you started with them? They're just following their liability policy. They actually cannot keep you employed unless you can produce a work permit. In some cases, though, it depends on your particular category, okay? It's illegal for them to terminate you for that reason, if that is what the particular reason they gave you, and you have basis to sue them. Gia, only for my 485 medical and tax return. Exactly. Submit those medical and tax return. Gia, do not submit the tax return. Do not send them the tax return. Send them the petitioner's tax transcript from the IRS's website. Okay? Don't send them the tax return. Do the medical, send them, and as soon as you send that, the case should be moving. Okay, so your asylum interview was 10 months ago. You can actually file an inquiry. It's not normal not to get a decision after 3 months. Have you been able to check your case online? Did you have an immigration attorney help you with your asylum? They should be able to check on that for you. Sometimes, though, depending on the actual office, they might take time. Normally, they have to give you a decision within a few weeks. Okay, so that's not normal. 10 months after an interview, that is not normal for a decision. Okay. Are you sure they didn't deny it? Are you sure they didn't refer you to an immigration judge? If you don't have an immigration attorney, you might want to book a consultation with an experienced immigration attorney and have them address that and look at all your paperwork, because you might have a hearing before an immigration judge and not know about it. And if you don't show up to that, you actually have a removal order. I have a double illegal entry. I'm married to a citizen. What are my chances to get residency? Believe it or not, that is not enough information there. How much unlawful presence did you have before the first one and between the first and the second? So we need to see how much unlawful presence you accumulated altogether. So it depends. My case was transferred twice. Is this bad? No, it doesn't mean anything. Crazy Cupcake, I'm a green card holder. Can my mom come visit me for my child's birth? Yes. Can she come? Yes. The issue is she going to be issued a tourist visa to come visit you or not? And that depends on, what her case is, what her particular circumstances are when she's applying for the visa. Remember, to come here to visit you, she needs to come as a tourist, and to come as a tourist, she needs to show that she has sufficient ties, personal, professional, financial, to the home country, so that it is more likely than not she's going to return back home. So if she can prove that, then she should be fine. Now, when you say you are a green card holder, the government is also going to look at her relatives and see how her relatives, including you, obtained their residency in the United States. If you have come to the United States and overstayed, and at some point later on you became a permanent resident, that would be something that they're considering in their application, in their decision to approve or deny your mom's application. I'm a citizen. I'm a U.S. citizen. I petitioned my unmarried daughter's 2 years. Immigration only sent receipt. That's all. Yes, it depends on your processing time. Let's see what the processing time is for you. U.S. citizen filing for a spouse or child. I don't know, depending on which one you filed. Let's see. The processing time is 37 months. So 2 years, you still got ways to go. Let's see. All right. Do you think the visa bulletin EB4 processing time will advance soon? Oh, Isabelle, I wish I had a magic ball for that, a crystal ball to be able to respond to that. It is almost impossible to tell. In October, generally speaking, at the beginning of October, they are going to issue for the new fiscal year. And if there are any major shifts going on, they usually do happen in October. I wouldn't hold my breath. Katerina, 5 months since applying for work permit and others through and other things through marriage to a U.S. citizen. Is that normal or help? It really depends whether it's normal or not. It depends on where you filed, what is your local office, did you receive a request for evidence, did you already have your biometrics, did you file with an attorney or not. We can help you navigate through that. Give us a call and we can help you take over the case if you don't have an immigration attorney. Other than that, you might actually get the green card before you get the work permit. It depends on where you are located. We have seen many clients go through that lately. Not everyone, obviously. And 5 months is not that bad. We have seen some work permits come in at 9 months, sadly. How to reopen my case that was closed to extend my CVIS as an F1 in college. It depends, okay? I don't have enough information to be able to tell you that. Why was the case closed? Cindy, I did have the old work permit and the letter from USCIS stated it is automatically extended. Just so you know, Cindy, you can have an employment attorney and an immigration attorney send a letter with a demand, and you can have a claim for wrongful termination, okay? Where are you located, Cindy? Okay, they shouldn't have terminated you with automatic extension. They just didn't know any better, or they were looking for that as a reason when they actually terminated you for another reason, okay? I'm a 21-year-old citizen. My parents are in Mexico. Can I petition for them? If you are a citizen, yes. But didn't you just tell me something else about your situation? Let's see what you said. That you have double illegal entry, you're married to a citizen. So you're not a citizen, you're married to a citizen. Which one is it? It's almost 2 years. I did not get interview results. What should I do? Interview from asylum? Did you have your interview? Okay. If you guys don't know what to do, the worst thing you can do is call USCIS. Best thing you can do is call an immigration attorney. Okay. You don't have to call me. That's fine. I don't handle asylum anyway. But if you need an immigration attorney, call a very experienced immigration attorney in your area who can help you get some cases unstuck, okay? Erica, can you give information about DACA becoming police officer in California? What about firearms? What is the question on that? Because if you receive firearms training as part of your job, then you're fine. People can receive firearms training. They go to military. They can do many other things. So what's the question? I don't see the issue. Can you join the army using an EAD? It depends. Go talk to your local recruiter. Double entry, I was brought at 8 and left when I was 25, came back at 27. Yeah, you might have a problem with the double entry because you accumulated unlawful presence between the age of 18 and 25. But it also matters how many of those were before 2001, how many of them those were after. It's just, this is not the time. That's such a complicated matter that even a consultation would not give you the answer for that, okay? Somebody actually needs to do a full timeline on your case and to see if permanent residency, it's even a possibility. After biometric appointments for adjustment of status under T visa, how long does it take green card? Sergio, so your T visa, you already filed for adjustment of status. You already had your biometrics. Who filed for your T visa? Call your immigration attorney. They should be able to help you with that because T visa is not something that you file on your own. Okay. So yeah, do that. And because let me tell you why. Okay. Your immigration attorney is the one that knows the entire timeline and they know your case better than anybody else. Okay. So you really want to talk to them. And after T visa, generally speaking, if you are in the adjustment of status phase, okay, if you are in that phase already and your T visa part was already approved, then you're just looking at regular adjustment of status timing, okay? So that depends on where you live and local office. Talk to your immigration attorney. Can a case be reopened after you didn't receive your NTA? Maybe if you updated the court on time with your change of address and you can prove that, then yes, your case can be reopened. You also have to have basis to reopen the case. You don't want to reopen until you know you have options after the reopening. It's almost 2 years waiting for asylum results. What should I do to get the result? You might want to check your alien number online to make sure you have not been placed in removal if you already had your interview, your asylum interview. Guys, for those of you asking about asylum, one, I do not do asylum. Second, don't confuse, do not confuse the interview that you are having when you enter the country, in which they are asking you, have you been persecuted? Do you fear persecution if you are going to be returned back to your country? That is a credible fear or reasonable fear interview, depending on which. Okay, that's a fear interview. That is not your asylum interview. If you did not file for an affirmative asylum, you didn't file the 589, okay, then you didn't have an asylum interview. Okay, so do not confuse that. We see that quite a bit. 7 months since I did my biometrics based on AOS K1, no EAD card. Is that a problem? It's not a problem. You just don't have a work permit yet, and you just need to wait. Some work permits are coming in at about 9 months, okay? If you do have a job offer and you are the sole breadwinner and your U.S. citizen spouse all of a sudden can't work, and many, many other reasons that you can put all together, and you might be able to expedite the work permit. My green card estimated time shows 3 weeks. Am I going to get approved in 3 weeks? You can't go by estimated times. No. What are the benefits and rights for a person with humanitarian parole? I'm located in Dalton. Okay. Do you have humanitarian parole? When you're talking benefits and rights, what exactly are you talking about? Immigration benefits and rights? You only have parole. So that means you are only here for as long as the government wants you to be here, for as long as the parole is granted. And if you have a work permit based on that parole, that is the only other right you have. So yes, you are entitled to work. You are entitled to travel within the United States if you have the work permit for the duration of the parole. You don't have any other rights. If you want to ask about a specific right, ask me about that. Yes, I got my I-130 and 485 approved after RFE on medical. Exactly. Oh, that was a question for a cousin, the 21 citizen. Yeah, your cousin can apply. Here's the thing: if your cousin's parents are in Mexico, okay, you might want to have your cousin and the parents meet with an immigration attorney and do a consultation. We can do that. They can meet with another immigration attorney. We do all of our consultations via Zoom video, so it doesn't matter. We have clients in all states and all over the world. You do not want to just look at one option. This is actually for all of you guys, okay? You all have preconceptions as to what is possible or what is impossible in your case. And 9 times out of 10, what you think is possible or impossible is totally the opposite. And nobody actually took the time to look at your case, or you didn't have enough drive in you to go through the process to see what your full options are. We have had people with removal orders who were able to become permanent residents. We have had people who were here undocumented for 20 years who could have been citizens 20 years ago, okay? We have a guy who was in removal proceedings, and he was released. He was released from detention, and it turns out he is a US citizen and has been for the past 30 years, and he didn't even know. Okay, now he has no identification. I mean, you guys are leaving so many options on the table. In most cases, not everyone has them, okay? But you guys are leaving so many options on the table because you will not pay for a consultation to meet with whoever the immigration attorney is in your area, or whoever is referred by your friends, family, and so on. You really want to look at that. Not only that, immigration law changes. Really, I wake up every morning and I don't know what changed, okay? So I have to get up to date every single morning with all the changes. Immigration law changes all the time. If you have not had a consultation in the past 6 months, you should. Your options are maybe not the same that they were 6 months ago. For example, 2 years ago, the government was giving prosecutorial discretion, basically terminating cases for people who were in removal proceedings, or allowing to reopen and terminate. Okay, that lasted for a short period of time. Then they went away from that. So depends on when you came to see us. It was an option, then it wasn't an option. Guess what? It's an option again. So it comes, it goes, it comes and goes. It depends on who wakes up in Washington and does what. So Googling results and doing this is very generic. Nobody here is going to give you individualized response and individualized answers without looking at your files. And so many people are like, well, I don't want to pay a consultation fee. I'm like, okay, go for the free lawyer. Do you really, really want a lawyer who has so much free time that they sit and give you free advice all day? Think about how busy that lawyer is, or how good that lawyer is if they have that much free time, okay? So do that. Let's just go back to your questions. All right, let's see. All right. Oh, I missed a couple. Let's make sure I address them. I still have like 10 minutes. Akeem, I have a 10-year green card currently in college. Can I invite my siblings to come visit me? You can invite them. Does that mean they're going to get the visa? Not necessarily. Also, Akeem, you have a 10-year green card. When are you eligible for citizenship? Can a divorcee apply for F1 visa while her kids are being taken care by ex's parents? Is that strong ties? Not enough information. Remember what I discussed earlier. To show enough ties, okay, you have to show personal ties. So generally speaking, they want to see married, parents, kids, all of them remaining back home. Then they want to see financial ties. How well off are you back home? Because the more well off you are back home, the less likely you are to remain in the United States. Or so the government thinks, okay? And then professionally, do you have a steady job? How long you had that job? Are you likely to keep that job? How long you going to stay here? That's what they are going to look at. Now, for an F1 visa, they are also going to see who's paying for your student visa, who's paying for your education, who's going to be supporting you for the time period that you are going to be here in school. I thought DACA recipients were banned from carrying firearms. Everybody's banned from carrying firearms, okay? Not just DACA recipients, immigrants in general, unless they have a permit. The way it works on you, you're the one who asked me about becoming a police officer, right? Okay, so if that is a ban on you on your particular state, okay, then that's not something you should be doing. You should talk to an immigration attorney in your state. You said California, if I'm not mistaken, right? How long after I get my H-1B visa can I apply for a green card? You can apply for a green card at any time. Has nothing to do with your H-1B. I cannot address the religious worker change of employer. If your 485 is pending, I cannot address that because I don't know the answer from the top of my head, and I don't want to give you the wrong advice. My wife's a US citizen. I filed I-130 in April 2020, and there is no response. I withdrew my asylum. Why did you withdraw your asylum? And Sharif, did you withdraw your asylum already or not? You should not withdraw your asylum at all until your entire green card is coming, okay? When you applied for the I-130, did you file for the I-130 and the 485 or what? I don't know how you entered the country, so I can't give you any more advice on that. How long is taking to renew DACA? We had one renewed in 2 days. One. I don't know the other ones. Let's see. I got approval for my sister's case is at NVC. I don't know how long it's going to take. Depends on the priority date of your application. You can check all that by visiting travel.state.gov and going to the visa bulletin. And based on your priority date for your F4 category, you can see that. MK, it doesn't matter where we are located. We are in Florida, okay? We have clients in all 50 states and all over the all over the world. Savage, how will immigration know I had a double reentry? I didn't scan documents going to Mexico nor back in the US. One, because immigration knows. Second, because you do not want to misrepresent or commit fraud, and you have to tell the truth, okay? Yes, Sharif, I did answer your question. The right to claim disability and unemployment. Cindy, that is a question for an employment lawyer. Depending on your state, you want to contact an employment lawyer in your state who handles employee claims, okay? And you are definitely eligible. You do not need to be permanent resident or anything like that to get unemployment. Disability, I do not know. I applied 751. They show cases ready to be scheduled for an interview. What should I do? Get ready for that interview. It could take another 2 years, 3 years, but get ready. Have the documents ready. Can I change my mother's case from Pakistan to another embassy to my mother? She's waiting for interview. No, you cannot forum shop. Unless she is a resident or citizen of another country, you're stuck with Pakistan. Can you bring your baby today at the interview? Do not take children to the interview. I go there and the officers cannot get more annoyed, okay? The officers cannot get more annoyed when they see the children, okay? It takes time. Akeem, good. As soon as you're eligible for your citizenship, you should apply. And it's not 5 years. 5-year rule is 4 years, 9 months, and 1 day. His was denied. Can I file? My son got an A number, but his was denied. Can I file 601 waiver for him? Not enough information to give you advice on that. I need more. I just did my medicals and send them. How long do I have to wait? Until they make a decision. Is nothing you can do about that. The fact that they actually requested your medicals, why aren't you guys sending them in the beginning and avoid all this? Just send them in the beginning and be done. They can take as much time as they need. Most cases, what I have seen lately, if they are asking for the medical in a request for evidence, they are going to generally approve it or not call you for an interview. How long does it take to get my mom a green card from Mexico? I'm a US citizen. The I-130 petition alone takes about 37 months. I just checked for somebody ahead of you. And then the National Visa Center will take another 1.5 years. And then it depends on which consulate in Mexico. So you might want to meet with an immigration attorney and see what other options you have, okay? Maybe your mom has a tourist visa. Maybe there are other ways to get her here sooner, especially if she's elderly. It becomes harder the older they get, okay? I have my combo card, so my case for VAWA is going to be approved. Nope, it means absolutely nothing. You have your combo card, that's all you have. It has nothing to do with your VAWA. It just means that right now you have a combo card. I have an E2 visa. Is it possible to get a green card anyway? Yes, you should meet with an immigration attorney to discuss to see if there are other options available for you. There is no direct path directly from E2 to green card. So you have to look at green card options on their own. Now, in some cases, depending on your business, on your investment, you might want to structure it a certain way so that in a few years, either you or your spouse or some other way might be able to apply directly for a green card, okay? But you might be able to do that now. Sometimes it's possible, sometimes it is not possible, okay? Only an immigration attorney can tell you that. Now, depending on the country you are from, E2 might need to be your best option for a long, long, long time until the priority date becomes current. I'm waiting for 601A. Can my husband do his medical exam here? If he's going to go to the consulate for an interview, that's where the medical needs to be. Can USCIS deny our marriage because of an incomplete I-130? First, USCIS does not deny marriages. You are already married, so that doesn't mean anything. You're still married. If the I-130 is incomplete, yes, they can deny the I-130, and then you start from zero, okay? So why is the I-130 incomplete? There are ways to fix that. You do not want to wait until that one is denied because you're going to lose your priority date. Okay. All right. So I'm all caught up and I addressed quite a bit. So thank you. See you guys soon.